of quick things. Donna had a list submitted by Joe Layden of potential zoning amendments for 2014 annual town meeting, and what I spoke about, basically the executive decision was too much on your plate, so.
We're not going to have a meeting in April.
Right.
Yeah.
That's February.
No hearings,
Yeah,
no amendments.
There you go. And then the other is the, you've done this, I guess, for the past 3 years, authorizing a revolving account of the planning board under 53E.5, and fiscal year 13 budget was $75K, and I'm assuming that's what you want.
Yep.
Sure. We have to vote on
We
it.
don't want more. No, it's just well. I mean,
No, it's the
Sure.
same.
We're
It hasn't
also sure.
changed.
We all vote sure?
Yeah, we all
Yeah.
vote sure.
Put sure then.
So do these meeting minutes incorporate the changes I sent?
Probably not, because I'm not sure I received the changes that you sent. When did you send them?
I sent them on Sunday night when I got the email. There was a cycle Monday morning.
A swoop, as opposed to a swoop.
Really, you didn't?
I don't think so, but I will put in changes.
Okay, starting with September 24th.
I very well could have said this.
Friday after. Boy.
Speaking of this. Yeah, I'll just go back and make the changes. Thank you.
Okay. Third paragraph. Are you on, you're not on the computer, are you, Susan?
No, I'm old school here.
Yeah, okay. Third paragraph?
We're on 24th, third paragraph, yeah?
Yep. Mr. Elon stated that the sentence beginning with that, right at the top, it required that the enabling statute, that statute was lengthy.
Where are you? I'm sorry, third,
Third-
discussion of zoning amendments.
Yes. Beginning with Mr. Elon
Yes, said
stated,
he had been approached by interested neighbors and inquired if he needed, yes.
enabling statute.
I have that.
Statute.
Yeah. Okay.
Is there any point? I'm not going to give you my stuff if I send it.
Yeah, you sent it to me, I'll just get it on.
Page 2.
That's any issue.
Yeah, without seeking approvals or something.
I say it's without receiving.
Okay. Without receiving. Because we don't have any. To not place, but to replace these things. Oh, no, maybe to place, I take it back, take it back. Could be, could be,
Yeah,
could
yeah,
be
yeah.
placed.
Somebody reading this 20 years from now
Gonna wonder.
is going to think, were we just Because it's almost impossible to understand what it was we were talking about.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's a sort of staccato, like, it's rather than a big summary.
Yeah.
Right.
It's just sort of like, there's just like,
Stream of consciousness.
yeah,
just-
it's
is
as
it-
fast as
is-
you could type, obviously,
Right.
that's what was going on. And Mr. Like this guy, if he had had enough, we would continue the discussion. No, but that was exactly what was going
Yeah.
on. And God said, I can't take it anymore.
Oh, my goodness.
No, no, no,
We
you-
don't want to change that.
no, no. Good times, good times.
Oh, really?
Boy, I was in the Dunkin' Donuts the other day.
You went in?
Well,
You took your life in your
gasoline,
hands.
if you could imagine, and of course I'm there, the Lone Ranger, filling a car up. Everybody else is in the coffee shop. Love it. But when you come out now from there, there are two signs right in front of you, the biggest signs I've ever seen. No, 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 left no. Two of them right there. And there was a cop there.
Good.
Are you sure
Thank
it wasn't a
goodness.
cardboard cutout? 'Cause we talked about doing that.
That's right, the cardboard police. car.
Yeah, they work.
They work.
Up to a certain point,
And
then
they're-
everybody.
and
It's like a
they-
scarecrow.
and They
Yeah,
cost a lot
it
less.
gets to be like those plastic coyotes people have in their lawn to keep geese away. I would like to hear what Mr. Ayla explained his observations as he was exiting the site westbound, going in the oncoming traffic lane.
Exactly.
Yawn.
In the oncoming. Anybody want to make that one word?
It's good to read these for comic
It
relief.
is,
It really
I like
is.
it. They're better read out loud, aren't they?
Huh?
Mhm.
Exiting the site westbound, going into oncoming traffic.
Into, on,
I like
Coming.
it.
In the oncoming.
in the
Oncoming
traffic. Yeah, I love it. That's a comfy one.
How about that into oncoming traffic?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Now, you're trying to change it into
Yeah,
English.
come on, this is a memorial to, how are you thinking?
An extension of the island.
Yeah, I put, and extending the island will make the correct movement more apparent.
You're trying to change it back into English.
Sorry. I'll shut up.
Uh-oh, we're supposed to review that.
Mhm. I just
It's
looked
spring
at
of
that.
2014. Did
What
you
are
see
we
that?
reviewing? Where are you?
It says, it was
Last
noted that the
paragraph.
board should review the impact of the new markings and median extension in the spring of 2014. I did review it, I was there.
May and June are still spring.
That's right. Up until June 21st,
That's right.
we're still
We're
in.
golden, huh? Okay.
I like the Wimpy statue. I think that's a good one.
Yeah.
Gee, I wonder if Mr. Cahill did find any dark sky compliant pictures. That's in number 3.
I suggested that Karen go through your files for the past year and a half.
There are a lot of them. There really are.
You know the problem, Mr. Van Style.
This was on
It
his
was
design.
designed, yeah.
Yeah.
The designer
Yeah.
had very specific feelings about what the proper lights should be. I know. Hey, did we ever get the plan for the additional planting at 31 Knobscott Road? Huh?
No.
Huh? What's that all about?
It's another loose end.
Mm-hmm.
Where are we? Where are we?
All right, under 4, 3 rather, 31 Knobscott Road.
I wouldn't even try to keep
Yeah.
track of them.
However, it doesn't say that it has to be spring of 2014.
That's right.
It could-
Good point.
It could be
Alright.
fall.
I will
Well,
Or
make,
perhaps August.
2015.
August. 2014. So bound to determine we're going to meet all summer.
Do you all remember who worked for Cato on landscaping?
He did it himself. We didn't have, was there a landscape architect?
No.
Yeah, it was just,
No.
we just were out there chatting.
This is something you could probably throw in the Kim's court.
Mm-hmm.
Although now's the time those people will be doing installations, so maybe they just haven't thought about it yet.
Maybe a little later. It's still a foot and a half of snow in my yard.
Do you remember 217 Newton Street?
Yeah.
Did those people just sell the house afterwards?
Yeah, they did. They just sold it.
We're just so rotten.
They sold it and got out of town. Not before they cut down all the
Sold
trees in
off.
the front though.
You know the house when you're driving down and
Oh, that's onto the golf course. That's-
No.
no, it's
Right at the
opposite
corner of
road.
Ash Street.
Yeah, it's a little pie shaped, it's a beautiful little old house. And Ash is coming in and Wellesley, no, Newton, I guess it is. And they have big plans. That was the problem, it was capital, B-I-G. Poor Catherine did such a nice job.
It's the brick house, right?
Yeah.
On the left when you go in northbound.
Cynthia,
And it was just a little parking court, and it was only going to be used intermittently.
You want to put a parking lot there?
Just a little.
Alternate and increasing the opening of the stone wall from 5 feet to 15.
For the fire trucks.
Yeah.
And he said,
Yeah. I think that was the stake in the heart.
yes.
Mr. Adelot said that the design is interesting.
So, just a question here. When I do minutes, I tend to summarize
Yeah.
as opposed to.
The stream of consciousness.
Well, no, this is a direct as fast as he can
Yeah.
type.
I just wanted to know if that was.
No, we don't need every single word that everybody said.
Utterances can be kept to a minimum.
Yes.
Well, if you look on the state website as to what should be,
It's minimal.
Minimal.
It's absolutely
It is
minimal.
absolute-
Yeah.
And you should read the CPC's minutes. They are beautiful.
Yeah.
But they are a full revelation of everything.
Interesting.
They're absolutely the
Really?
most beautiful notes I've ever seen. But I think it takes that woman 3 weeks to do. It's just like,
That must be Tracy who does it.
yes,
Yeah.
yeah, she does a great job. But boy, I mean, she summarizes as well as expands. It's amazing.
Fantastic.
But they don't have anybody filming here. We're lucky we have that.
It takes as long to read these as it did to actually go through the hearing.
Yeah. Mr. Oppenheimer said that not only is it BC, it's the gateway. Tripling. Oh, you were mean, I remember. That was your first
Yeah.
meeting when you were mean.
Yeah, I made some changes there, but I'll just
Next paragraph, I think it's spelled S-E-L-V-I-G.
that's correct, salvage. I have that in my corrections.
I'm glad to know there was a party and the parking wasn't a problem.
It's because we weren't invited.
It's just literally every word.
I know.
The former owner was elderly and she got in there, and the younger people should have no problems getting into the garage. Okay.
The abutter at 229 Ash, driveway's wide enough there, plenty of driveway. Get in there. Okay. And you have Oli proposed to be relocated due to construction of parking lot. That's Mr. Adelot asked to get that, right?
Yes.
Yeah. This is fun to read.
Where is
That's, it's getting near the end. It's right about 5. third paragraph up from 5. Poor Catherine. She tried and tried and tried.
She really did.
She worked
actually
so
tried to-
hard.
I don't know who that abutter is at 229 Ash, so I left that question mark.
The board reiterated that the request for the new street opening was denied.
Adrian says it's funny to watch television and seeing us sitting here reading, and reading and reading and reading.
Have you
Really
accidentally
interesting.
ever found us? I mean, there'll just be times where we're all like this. And then somebody will, and then you can't hear. And then somebody will, awful, the worst.
It's like we're all asleep.
There was one when I don't think Roy moved. He was just like this, every so often his hand would move. It's like, wow, how'd he do that? And I'm the one with ADD, I'm looking around, talking to everybody.
So let me know when you get to the last paragraph of 253 Meadowbrook.
I'm there.
You there?
Yeah.
I jumped over the rest of it. I can't do this.
Yeah, there's nothing. So, I added something that I saw was in the certificate of action to the end of the paragraph that ends at vacuum. And you don't have to write this out, it'll be my notes. He said for the stormwater calculations, it was modeled as impervious, which I believe is correct.
I believe you did say that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's, well, it's pervious, they modeled it.
Impervious.
Yeah.
You don't have to sand it, and it can be maintained with a vacuum cleaner, preferably Dyson.
I bet you
No, but the rest of it's there.
You didn't say cleaner. You just said a vacuum.
Vacuum.
Oh,
Preferably one
like
that
Alice
doesn't
Springs.
lose
Yeah.
suction. What a vacuum.
Must be a converted Zamboni.
That was such a fabulously long night. I can't believe we
Yeah,
actually
I
made
know.
it through it.
We were,
There was every single big one that we ever deal with was
Yeah,
that
was
night.
That was a
Because
whopper.
we took 2 months off. Wow.
No, that isn't.
we did.
No, we
yeah.
only took 1 week off. in July.
Okay. I think it looks great, especially with the corrections that Steve wants to
That
do.
Steve has so laboriously.
Oh, I noticed in the driveway discussion, what was in the stream of consciousness, what was omitted was my response to the requirement that the driveway be 16 feet wide. I had a few choice comments about that. 16 feet.
And Allison over my dead body. Look at that. She's probably on those lines.
That was pretty close.
Yeah.
Have we started working on the budget?
What?
Which one?
Which house?
This one on Meadowbrook.
Yes.
Have they opened it?
Have you heard if any of the
The other one? You know, the other
explosives have,
They're not blasting.
you're not?
No, they're jackhammering.
Meadowbrook? Oh, really?
They say it starts at about 9 o'clock in the morning.
You mean
It goes
after-
all day
Oh,
long.
After
after
those
2
two
full
meetings?
Yes.
About blasting their
They're
jackhammering?
jackhammering every day, all day.
Oh.
Boom, 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 boom.
Can we send them a bill for the time we spent?
Wow, that was a lot of hot air, wasn't it, huh?
Yeah,
Well,
well,
the vacuums.
at least their walls aren't cracking.
No, but
That's
their
interesting.
psyches were.
Yeah.
you know Pam Swain? She said it's enough to give you a migraine. It just,
Oh, I'm sure.
it just goes on all day long.
Yeah, yeah. Mm.
You come to a paragraph that says Mr. A-Lot said that the board.
That's a side profile.
It had the side
Yeah.
profile facing the field.
So I changed that to would like to have the narrower side of the house on lot 2 facing the meadow.
Yeah, okay.
And then the last sentence in that paragraph, that they may be able to utilize space under the meadow if needed for utilities.
Yeah.
Okay.
What did you mean by he thought this was a
Good
good scaffold for the
right.
proposal?
Yeah, I got rid of that.
You did, because it was like, whoa, what is that?
Where was that?
It's a good one to hang the
So,
next
Al,
sentence.
what did you, when you must have said, I think that's a good scaffold for the proposal. You must have actually used those words.
Where was it?
I think
It's
Well-
right after, he thought this was a good scaffold. Said the board would.
Oh, I just deleted that whole
Right,
sentence.
but I want to see, what was
Well,
in your,
what-
whatever was in your head.
What I was, I'm sure what I was saying is that, remember that was the meeting where they reduced it to a 3-lot
Right.
proposal. They went down from, what was it, 5 to 3. And so that's when sweetness and light prevailed.
Oh, okay, right, yeah.
And
Oh, yeah, there was love in
we
the
were,
air.
that love in the air, we were
Mhm.
encouraging them, we said this is a step in the right
Yeah,
direction.
yeah, okay.
But we still have a lot of ground to cover. That was September 24th, and here we are at the end of March. So we weren't kidding.
Was this the first hearing on this puppy?
Oh, no, what, 1 and 5?
Yeah.
Oh, no. The hearing started on this June 26, 2012. This is the end of March 2014.
It's gotta be an all-time record.
It was totally unnecessary. It just, we had 3 false starts. It was just amazing.
Just a quick aside, were you folks okay for 2 p.m. to meet?
Yeah. That'll be what, the 5th or 6th offline meeting we've had on this in the last two and a half months?
Yeah,
So David wanted to make a motion. Didn't he?
Yeah, sure. Anything you say.
You said, I
The
don't know.
motion that we accept the minutes with the adjustments and improvements for September 24th, 2013.
Second.
All in favor?
All right.
Aye.
Unanimous, October 16th. Just as lengthy, almost as lengthy.
It reads
It's only
weird.
It's
4
not quite
pages
as
long.
lengthy.
It reads weird.
Did you read this one?
It reads weirder.
Oh, great.
Well, the whole
It's hard to
the whole
imagine.
first part, which is about, you know,
It was about that article.
the article, and it
SPV.
goes into specifics about, you know, if we purchase a property or if we sell it and repurchase, and it never mentions the property.
Oh, me.
And that's all I'm gonna tell you. You gotta find it out for yourself. But
Oh, God. You'd have to rewrite this to make it into English, wouldn't you?
yeah, or cut out a whole bunch, which might be easier. So it's just not needed.
What did you do, rewrite it?
No, but
Just
Yeah,
have
where you
to
are.
put it in place?
it just seems rather than the preservation restriction as long as in place whatever it says, it's hard for me to tell what was there.
As long as the preservation
As long as
is in
some-
place, but he
No.
says that the preservation
He
should
said
be
that
put
I
in
didn't know.
place, I guess. Inserted there,
It needs to be put in at the beginning of the process.
yeah, put in place, there's a word that's in there. Put in what? Put in the bylaw, put in, implement, that is.
Yeah,
I'm not
okay.
gonna try, I'm not gonna try.
I told you it was weird. You wouldn't believe it.
Okay, so something that I didn't catch.
Yeah.
Number 2. paragraph.
Page 2.
No, number 2, not page 2.
Yes,
First
it says
paragraph.
and then there's this weird ass sentence.
Asked if the preservation restriction needs to be implemented at the beginning of the process instead of put in. And then in the next sentence, I said that you can get from this strict. A-Lot said that the preservation restriction just needs to be in place by the time the board approves a special permit.
Once I've made these changes in all these minutes, may I post them on the web?
Yeah.
Yes. There are also those minutes that Roy marked up.
Yeah.
Restrictions we were all supposed to look at, but I don't think we did.
Attorney Bard said just to allow for the project to move forward and not have the timing of the preservation restriction hold up the process. Refined conditions.
I don't, this doesn't,
It's hard to see the nub.
I don't know what he's talking about. Sorry. Maybe it's just late and I'm just not getting it.
Well, this is a verbatim thing,
But it's
and-
not,
but it's not a
strictly
summary.
speaking, verbatim because it's,
Well, there's,
Where are you?
you're in that first, the number 2, public hearing, the first paragraph, the second and third paragraph.
I'm in the second paragraph. It says, Ms. Morris said that historic New England wants a more specific restriction in place before reviewing a future project. That sentence has nothing to do with anything that comes before or after it. What does it mean? What does it mean?
Well, that paragraph could be struck. You know, those 3 sentences. I don't
And I
think there's any-
remember Marissa did talk about it.
She
And that was
did.
sort of a law, you know, it was sort of logged in. It's like, you guys are talking about this, putting these restrictions on, but Historic New England has their own restrictions, that they want something along that line.
No, that's not what she was talking about.
No?
No. She was fine, she's fine with this, we're talking about the restriction on the, on the old library, and the town's restriction on the tavern, and
Well, the question was whether it'd be easier to have a restriction in place first, as Historic New England might not support what the town selects, because that's what I understood her saying too, is that you can do whatever restrictions you want, Historic New England, oh, but that was for the Josiah Smith.
yeah, well,
So, not the old library.
not the old library, the old library has nothing to do with
Right.
it.
So actually, we don't really know what we're talking about here.
No, we don't.
So do we
Why don't you
strike
just
that
scratch out the
paragraph?
entire paragraph?
Just remove it, because
Okay.
I don't know what it means.
Mhm. Yeah, because, that's right, because I think we were actually talking, Pam was talking about the occupancy, right, of the library.
It's all academic anyway. It all went over the
Yeah,
top.
right, yeah, it all went over a cliff anyhow, so. Okay.
That was a couple of months out of my life that I could have used
I
doing
know.
other things.
Yeah. You worked real hard on that.
You'll need those back once you're on at the end.
Yeah, they'll be back.
That's when you want them back.
That's right. What the hell was I doing?
You were responding to a stated need.
Right.
That's what you did.
Yeah. But David's right. At the end of the road, I'm
No,
gonna be
I'm-
saying to myself, what the hell was I doing?
Yeah. Okay, so this just goes on
On
and
and
on.
on.
Down
Stream
deep
of-
into the weeds.
Stream of consciousness.
Yep, deep into the weeds, you know. What's the definition of fast food anyway?
You know, Bill Sandals voted for the bylaw change. Are we picking up spelling errors in people's names, or are we just gonna,
No,
okay.
maybe, Steve.
There's a couple,
Yeah, I did-
there's a couple spelling errors.
Yeah, I've picked up at least 2 so far, but
But, I mean, seriously, this is, people are going to be falling on the floor after they've read the first 2 pages anyway, so,
I don't, does anybody actually read these?
I don't know.
I literally get through 2 paragraphs and I'd say, this is so dense, I can't possibly understand.
I know, but I make a really good statement in this Zacharias statement. The board cannot find a way to replace 100-year-old trees. Now, why that is memorialized? Could we strike that? Oh my God! Please, please, Captain, that could maybe go somewhere else and not be memorialized for eternity.
I rather enjoyed that comment.
Ms. Zacharias, can
Ms.
you
Zacharias.
prove that statement scientifically?
God, this is so
You don't think there's a
embarrassing.
little sarcasm there when you say that?
No, but I don't see it now. It just looks really stupid.
Kind of like
He could put in parentheses afterwards, and daggers emerged
Yeah.
from her
Olga,
eyeballs.
yeah.
that. That's exactly how I read it.
Yeah.
And then there's Olga. Olga Schulman.
Yeah, that was, man, talk about a blast from the past.
That's kind of like the last thing we would need is to have your proposal be subject to planning board review. You'd be meeting daily.
Oh my, that was fun. Okay, the discussion was set to continue. Rivers. Oh yeah, this was the only pleasant one that whole evening.
Oh, we did the headmaster's resolution.
Yeah. Oh, well, Pine Brook was okay too.
Well, I have a couple things on page 4 that should be at the top sentence. It says the expended pool area, and I think they meant the expanded pool
Picky.
area. I know, and then the paragraph just below it that starts, Paul Finger, the applicant's landscape consultant, stated they conducted tests to determine whether the columns supported the foundations, blah, blah, blah. He said it was found that these elements. So I think it's
Yeah.
found.
But they were also fun.
They made them
The
very
fact that they
happy
were on
with it.
ledge rather than on soil.
Yeah.
They were very attractive.
Have they finished all that now? I have yet to drive by that little house.
It looks like, but they haven't started the new snack shack on the other side of the road.
Oh.
That was interesting.
Is everybody happy with the historic, with the new house?
Well,
Pretty
yeah,
much.
I think they're gonna
Kind of.
let, it's not what was shown in the drawings.
Oh, it really isn't?
No.
Really? Wow.
But there's several differences, so they're gonna take photographs for the record.
Okay.
And
But
then,
What's that gonna
different-
do?
That was a different review from this one. That was later.
Right. But, you know, stream of consciousness here, my consciousness was streaming to that.
Yeah.
so they didn't get it right?
No, well,
After all that?
you expected them to,
No, you're right. You're right.
But then they get away with it.
But is it major or just?
no, you know,
Is it dimensions and proportions?
no, details.
Oh, that is not dimensions and proportions, please.
Good. $89,000 lumens, and boy, you can see them when you drive down Newton Street at night.
They reduced it.
Yeah,
To
to 59,000, but you can still, it's still.
Alrighty.
Your
Move
turn.
as amended?
I would like to move that we approve these planning board minutes from Wednesday, October 16, 2013, with the changes, with the noted.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. It's unanimous.
Thanks, guys.
Are we at the end of the line here?
I
Yeah.
think we are.
Movement to close the meeting.
I move that we close the meeting.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye, aye, aye.